Is Solana about to prove it's the real Ethereum killer? Well, the latest H1 report from Helios just dropped and the numbers are absolutely shocking. We're talking insane revenue dominance, billions in DEX volume, massive institutional adoption, and even real world users paying for mobile plans of crypto. It's some pretty crazy shit, so stick around and learn why both public and private companies are stacking Solana like it's going out of style, baby. By the way, I do own Solana. I'm biased, but I also got some ETH bags. I got some other bags. Full portfolio disclosures as always down below. And if you didn't know, Helios, by the way, is a Solana-focused blockchain infrastructure company. In their mid-year report, it's nothing short of super mega bullish. I mean, they're kind of biased. They are an Ethereum, Solana infrastructure company, okay? But anyway, they're just stating the facts. Pretty easy to be bullish on Solana. Let me ask you something first. Would you rather use a service that takes hours or even days to complete, charges you a fortune, or something that finishes in literal milliseconds and costs you pennies? Obviously, nobody wants to pay an arm and a leg for a crappier service, while other chains, of course, struggle with congestion and highway robbery fees during peak hours, or even worse, no one's using the damn things. Solana, though, quietly dominates with 162 million transactions daily, all for under a cent. That's insane. That's not just fast and cheap, it's practically charity. For comparison, Ethereum's highest daily transaction numbers are only a little under 2 million. That's like peak high ever. And don't even get me started on the gas fees. And I know the gas fees are better under Pextra. I get it. I understand. But Lark, what about Solana's notorious downtimes? Yeah, I know, that happened. It's happened before. But here's the update. Zero downtime for more than 15 months and counting. And it's not just users noticing, developers are flocking into the Solana ecosystem. Solana displaced Ethereum as the top ecosystem for new developers in 2024, and that is a major shot across the bow for Ethereum. And I know the price of Ethereum is doing well recently. I have a bag. We'll be selling that at some point in the future in the $7,000 range. But with 7,625 new developers joining Solana, that's a boost of an 83% increase in developer growth. That's insane. Solana is the hot place to be. And Solana is not just some speedster on chain, it's also leading in economic dominance. Since October 2024, Solana has topped all chains, including Ethereum, in something called real economic value. That's not just total value locked on chain because, mercenary capital move or transaction spam or anything else. This is actual user demand, actual revenue, and actual value throwing through the chain. In January 2025 alone, Solana hit $551 million in rev. That's 3.31 times more than Ethereum had in the same month. And on January 19th, it had a single day high of $56.8 million, blowing past the rest of the market. Now, a big part of this revenue comes from protocols like Jito. Jito is Solana's MEV-powered validator client, MEV for standing for maximal extractable value. Basically, it's extra profit that validators can earn by reordering and prioritizing transactions. Now on Solana, users can actually tip validators to speed up their transactions, like on most blockchains, and those tips now account for up to 66% of total network revenue. What used to be a niche tactic is now a core part of the Solana economic and infrastructure model, and of course is a sign of a growing technical maturity of the blockchain itself. And unlike most chains, Solana is turning MEV into organic on-chain monetization, okay? No Ponzi incentive bullshit, no gimmicks, just real demand. Now let's talk about DEX volume, okay? Solana absolutely owns that corner. $890 billion in DEX volume just the first 5 months of 2025. It's almost $1 trillion, guys. $1 trillion bucks. That's nuts. Oh, 110 billion short, but we're pretty close. Damn. And 81%, yes, 81% of all global DEX transactions are happening on Solana. So you take Ethereum, all of its layer 2s combined, all the other blockchains combined, doesn't matter. Solana is 81% of it. So while other chains brag about their TVL and ETH's got a lot of TVL. Solana has something better, real revenue, and real revenue means staying power. The volumes we're seeing, they're not just from retail traders playing the casino with dog coins. I mean, that's part of it too. Love the dog coin gamblers. You guys are awesome. But big players are building on Solana too. In May 2025 alone, $1.75 billion in USDC was minted directly out of the Solana network. That's Circle choosing Solana, and of course going where the demand is. There's huge demand for USDC on the Solana network. And Circle seeing this as a primary on-chain hub for stablecoin liquidity. But it goes beyond stablecoins. The Helios report reveals some real blockbuster moves. Before I break those down for you guys, if you need a good place to trade Solana meme coins, Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever your heart desires, that place is called Femex. It's an OG cryptocurrency exchange. They've been around for ages. I've been using them for ages. And here's the deal. You can use it from literally anywhere in the world, by the way, okay? Doesn't matter where you live. You can use Femex. You might need a VPN in some situations, but you can use Femex. Now, here's the deal. Right now, if you use the link down below, you're going to go straight to VIP level 2 access. Now, what's that mean? That means big savings for you. It's 50% off of your spot maker fees and 40% off of your futures maker fees, okay? If you're a big trader, you trade a lot, you know how much difference that can make, okay? It's a huge discount in fees. Plus, you'll also get the standard $30,000 in bonuses. So that's deposit bonuses and trading bonuses. The more you deposit, the more you trade, the more bonuses you get back, the more cash back you get in your account. It's a crazy deal. There's a link right down below here. Go check it out. Now let's talk about these big blockbuster moves. Well, first off, we have the CME group, which has rolled out Solana futures. That's a big deal. Big step in the right direction for Solana spot ETFs, which are coming soon. Meanwhile, R3, a heavyweight managing over $10 billion in real-world assets, has chosen Solana for its enterprise blockchain convergence. And that's not all. Of course, major TradFi titans are also jumping in and paying attention. BlackRock's Biddle fund is now on Solana. Franklin Templeton's FOBXX and VanEck's VBill, tokenized versions of flagship money market products, treasury bill products, are now live on the Solana network. And under the hood, Solana is also getting a serious upgrade. We have FireDancer. That's the new validator client from the guys over at Jump Crypto. That's already live on testnet. It's been live on testnet for a while. Be pushing to mainnet potentially later this year, which will basically make Solana so far ahead of their blockchain, it'll be ridiculous. It's built for parallel throughput, high execution, increased resiliency, and basically 1 million transactions per second. 1 million transactions per second, that's insane. It's literally the edge of technological capacity. Fixing stability concerns, of course, the critics love to bring up here as well with this upgrade. Then there's Alpenglow, which is a game-changing consensus upgrade that's set to cut finality down to just 100 milliseconds from its current 150 milliseconds. Damn! While slashing validator costs by over 90%. In plain English, Solana is on track to continue to be the absolute dominator of everything, being the fastest, most cost-efficient layer 1 blockchain in the entire industry. The Helios report also highlights progress on the compliance front. So Solana's new token extensions, they now support confidential transfers and compliance logic. Features, of course, that help to bridge the gap between open networks and regulatory expectations. So what's the bottom line here? Solana isn't just for scalping dog coins anymore. We love scalping dog coins. It's what I mostly use it for, but there's other shit going on too. It's being built for Wall Street grade performance with the compliance tooling to match, which of course could lead to even more institutional adoption, more real world assets on chain, more treasuries, more stable coins, more stuff. Solana isn't just dominating on-chain stats, it's expanding into the real world at scale. Okay, I'll start with stablecoins. Over the last 18 months, Solana's stablecoin supply has grown by more than 7 effing fold, jumping from around $1.5 billion to over $11.7 billion. Currently, the numbers keep going up. As we said a minute ago, in May alone, Circle minted $1.75 billion in USDC on the Solana network. That's not a side chain, okay? That's a stable coin super highway. Then there's Helium Mobile. In Q1 of 2025, it added nearly 300,000 new subscribers. These are real people getting on the blockchain for mobile services, man. People aren't just testing crypto-powered phone services, they're literally switching to it. 300,000 people. Hive Mapper, the decentralized mapping network, they're out here scaling globally with over 160,000 contributors. It has now mapped nearly 1/3 of the world's roads. That's crazy, man. More than 540 million kilometers of real-world data captured and rewarded via the Solana blockchain. In the high-end consumer space, we have stuff like Baxis, which is a platform for tokenized luxury spirits. I mean, there's all kinds of random shit happening on the blockchain, right? This is the stuff that Helios has highlighted. They reported an 11,500% spike in crypto payments and a 50x surge in overseas buyers. Crazy stuff. Crypto's good for business. Who would have thought? Tokenized goods aren't Ethereum anymore. They're now being bought and sold on the blockchain at this very moment. All of these points lead to a bigger reality, a bigger play for crypto, which is real-world assets. Analysts project the RWA sector will grow into a $30 trillion market by 2030. Absolutely bonkers numbers, guys. $30 trillion in on-chain assets by 2030. Are you hearing these numbers? Are you paying attention? And Solana, with its low fees, high throughput, and built-in compliance features, is already securing a slice of that pie. From phones to maps to fine whiskey, Solana is powering real products for real people. And it's doing it with speed, scale, and economic efficiency that few, if any, other blockchains can match. This is the blockchain technology we've literally been promised for years, and it's here and it's happening. It's happening on Solana. So is Solana finally living up to its Ethereum killer label? Well, the network's never been faster. The users have never been more real and more prolific. The money, it's never been bigger. Even the whales, of course, are waking up to this new reality. Publicly traded companies like DeFi Dev Corp, Sol Global, Upexi, they're now holding Solana on their balance sheets, okay? So when listed companies start buying, you know that things are starting to get pretty crazy, and these guys are going for literally millions of coins in supply. They're gonna gobble up truckloads of percentage of Sol. Solana is still about 4 times smaller in market cap too than Ethereum, which is I feel a major mispricing by the market, but it is closing the gap, okay? And it's laser focused on not competing with Ethereum actually, but delivering speed, scalability, and real-world utility. And right now it's delivering on all that. That's something that most projects just can't claim, okay? I know there's people in the comments saying, oh, how much Lark getting paid by Solana to do this video? I got a bag, and I'm just stating facts here, guys. They're just facts. Sometimes you guys don't like facts, but they are. Look, are you holding Solana? Are you bullish on Solana? I think Ethereum does well too, guys, okay? And I've been relatively bearish on Ethereum recently, but I think it's going to have its little comeback curve. But it's got a long way to catch up technically to where Solana is right now. The fact that Solana is still valued by the market less than Ethereum, to me, is wild, man. It's wild. And I feel like that's a mispricing that won't continue to last for the rest of this bull market. Thanks for watching.